Hi, I'm Marnie Pearson with SheLovesGod.com and LightTheWorldNow.com and AbundanceQuotient.com. I want to talk to you about an experiment that I started a couple months ago. There was an area of my life that I was just not happy with, okay? As a whole, my life's been going along just fine, and I've been able to do a lot of exciting things lately, but there's one area that was just not up to where everything else was, and it was sort of like my dinosaur in the living room that I didn't want to deal with, didn't want to look at. It was going to take a lot of emotional energy and time to deal with it, and I was just putting it off. But the Lord just kept telling me, you got to deal with this, you got to deal with this, it's not, it's not right. And so I decided to do what I do if I'm going to, want to build a house or something like that, or buy some property. First, I make a list of everything that would be totally ideal of what I'd like to have. Okay, so I made an ideal list of how I'd like to be treated, how I'd like my life to be, what I'd like to have happen in this particular area of my life. And I made that list, and it was wonderful. I fell in love with that list. It was just, oh, this is perfect. If I could have this in my life, this would be absolutely amazing. And so I started to look for things to start happening that were on the list. And I let go of it needing to be any one person in my life to deliver what I was looking for on my list. In other words, my husband didn't need to be delivering everything on the list. One of my children didn't need to be. There didn't need to be some new person come into my life and deliver everything on my list. I was going to let go of who or where this list of things was going to come from. And so I started to be on the lookout. And whenever I would see something that fit that, I would call it a SAM moment. Now let me tell you what SAM stands for. SAM is S-A-M, and it signifies spotting a mercy. Okay, I was reading in Psalms where David talks about the tender mercies of the Lord and how they're unique to us. They're things that mean something to us, may not mean something to somebody else, but it's very personal where the Lord is intervening in our lives and we have a tender mercy. And so I started to spot these mercies, okay? So whenever I would have something happen, then I would spot a mercy. And so I'd write it down. Okay, here's where this is. I'd be very grateful, and I'd show gratitude to the person who helped me out, if there was a person involved, or I'd thank heaven for it. Another thing that I noticed I started to do is because part of this aspect of what I was hoping for was to get my property and my house and everything in good repair and well under control and everything, I realized that I needed to step up to the plate and be actively involved in that process and not wait around for something or someone to come into my life and make everything right. And so I started actively working on my property. I got out here and cleared about an acre myself with a push mower. I hired people to come bush hog. I hired pressure washers to come. I water sealed the deck, So I realized I have to become something myself to take things into control and start to use my own freedom of choice to make the difference. I need to do all I can do to get things the way I want them to be. So I started to do those things. And as I did, I started seeing more and more of these tender mercies come into my life. And it's starting to make a huge difference. Not only that, it's teaching me some very valuable principles along the way that are changing me at the core. So I'd like for you, if you've got an area of your life that's just not right, make a list of what would make it perfect. Because a lot of times we get bogged down and I just don't like this doesn't feel right, I'm not happy here, and we're always yada yada yada, complain, and we don't get clear on what we do want. See, I think we're scared to get clear on what we do want because then we're afraid that the ideal and reality are going to be so different that we're going to be depressed, okay? And a lot of the times that's because we expect one person or certain people to get their acts together so we can be happy, okay? And it's not about other people, it's about us, okay? So get clear, get a list, let go of who else is going to be involved, do everything that you can do, anything you can move forward to be ready for what you're looking for, and then start spotting mercies, okay? Be grateful. Every time you spot a mercy, be grateful. Thank the person, thank heaven, and write it down. And you'll start to see that God is constantly intervening in your life. He's constantly showering his tender mercies on you. And you'll see his love, and you'll start to understand that God is the one that you need to have that kind of relationship with, where he is fulfilling your needs and you're working in conjunction with him. And you don't need other people to get their acts together or start treating you a certain way or start doing things. You just need to get clear on what you want and start rewarding good behavior and things that people do for you, because you start to see, this is on my list, and you've spotted a mercy. Be grateful. And the more grateful and the more happy you are, the more other people start to give you what you want and what you'd like to have in your life. They will start to rise up to your clear intention of what you want. So that's it. That's the SAM experiment. Give it a try and leave me a comment down there and tell me what you're going to try, and then keep me posted on how this SAM experiment works for you. God bless.